Hello and welcome to Nottingham Music Excellence. So today I thought I'd record a couple of grade 4 pieces and I'm going to play that very famous theme from the Indiana Jones movies, The Raiders March. Now I grew up with these films and I really quite like them, so drop me a comment below in that comment section if you're a big fan of the Raiders films and let me know which is your favourite one. Now personally I rather like The Last Crusade, that's my favourite. So firstly, I'm going to demonstrate the piece with the piano track, show you how it goes, and then I'm going to stop and talk a little bit about the music, show you what the problems are in this piece, show you the difficulties, all that articulation detail, and then I'm going to pick a section of that and I'm going to play it through with a metronome track, a little bit under tempo, so you've got something that perhaps you can practice along with if you're in the early stages of learning this piece. Of course, if you'd like to skip to any of those sections, the details of the timings and the minutes will be in that description, so feel free to click on any part of that. So let's just have a look at a few bits of the piece. We'll go over a few bits in detail and see if we can make sense of all this. So straight away you're presented with these dotted quaver, semi-quaver rhythms. Now these are always quite tricky for your pupils to play well. So just make sure that you get the difference between that and the triplet quavers. So really make sure that you've got a 3/4 and a quarter there, not a lazy sort of 2/3 and a third, like a kind of a compound time rhythm. So make sure you're really accurate with that and try to get the tongue in really clean, and that will help really sort of bring the character of the music out. So that in itself is not a particularly easy thing to do. So try and differentiate clearly the difference between the dotted quaver, semi-quaver rhythm and the triplet rhythm, where you've got the third triplet quaver tied to the next note. So the semi-quaver speed is da 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 da, but the triplet speed is da 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 da. So with those two rhythms, ba ba bee. And then on the third line, we get into those tricky things with finding the left-hand C and the E flat. So I've done this piece a couple of times with pupils, with two different pupils, and I have to say both of the pupils have found it quite hard to get through this piece, stamina-wise, and the technical side of it as well. So I'm thinking we could have a little cheat in here for some of these really awkward passages, and instead of perhaps tonguing every note, what I've done with a couple of pupils on the lower semiquavers, so where you've got, you could perhaps slur those 3 notes instead of tonguing them all, and that might just help you get through the music. So you could play, I don't think anyone's going to argue too much about that. I don't think you're certainly not going to lose marks for that, because the overall mark that you get for the exam will be based on the overall presentation and the overall sort of tidiness of the piece. So I don't think anyone's going to shout at you about that or lose any sleep over it. So I'll just play that again. So you could maybe try, instead of tonguing every note. So that might help on the articulation side of things if you're struggling to get through that. And of course lower down, even on the 1, 2, 3, 4th and 5th line. I think as long as you get most of the articulation in there and it sounds quirky and you're separating that upper note, I think as long as you've got good articulation detail in there, I don't think anyone's going to lose sleep over whether you've tongued every single note or not. Okay, so I'm going to go from the end of bar 13 with the metronome, just to give you a bit of an easier track to play along with. So I'm going to go from the 4th beat of bar 13 through to where it repeats back, so through to the end of bar 31. And I'm going to play it through at 80 BPM, 80 beats per minute, just to give you something slightly easier to play along with. And this will also test to see if you're counting the long notes properly before you do the da 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 da, before you're doing that section. So it'll be good, good practice for your counting as well. Okay, so here we go. So this is from the 4th beat of bar 13. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, and then we're in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope you found that useful to play along with. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and click on that little bell and you'll get notifications when the videos are uploaded. See you on the next video. Bye.